Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Solutions Brewing Podcast. It happens to be the first of the year after we took a nice break for Christmas and family. We hope you guys, everyone else listening, also got to do the same. And I just chatting there, and then Steve and Brendan both cracked beers. What are you guys drinking right now? What do you guys open?
I have some leftover Founders and Farmers. It's Calgary Co-op's in-house brand. That's their IPA, which isn't bad. It's not the greatest IPA in the world. That would be the Solutions Brewing Friends Night Out. but it is a serviceable IPA.
I think I know someone who could hook you up with some of that fantastic Solutions beer. I'll send you a line. Wait till the end of the podcast. We might talk.
And what are you drinking, Brendan?
I've got a non-alcoholic pale ale called Tuesday Free Bomb.
Tuesday Free Bomb.
Is that because are you doing a dry January, or
I am, yeah.
You're being a good boy.
That's a very common thing to do. I would say I was participating, but I was actually hanging out at 948 with 948 and Atlas doing some beer tasting there. So
there we go.
Yeah. So trying to go through. It's been interesting. So I bought a bunch of NA stuff. So I was like, well, I should see what's out there other than just the Heinekens and the Coronas that we know. Haven't tried the Guinness non-alcoholic one yet.
I've seen it, but I have not tried it.
I wasn't sure didn't realize they had one. That'd be interesting. I happened to be I was walking through Safeway, and just per chance I ended up walking down an aisle that happened to have Bandit Peak apparently does some non-alcoholic beers.
Yep.
Because it's a pale ale and IPA, so I picked up a 4-pack of each. Now, those 4-packs are only 355 cans, by the way.
Interesting.
Oh, they're small ones.
So they're 4-packs, and they're of the smaller cans. I haven't tried one yet, but mostly because I keep forgetting I have them. Probably because I have like 5 fridges, and you take one, I put one in the fridge, and if I don't go into that fridge for a while, then I forget what's in there.
You have it in the furnace room fridge, so it's for when you're working on something down there and you can't have an alcoholic beverage.
Much, yeah.
No, so I got these ones. The pale ales they're not bad. I got the logo. They call them hazy IPAs. They're just hop waters, but they're quite good. And I also got the one for the road, Ambers, which I quite like.
How was that one? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I quite like that one. It still has a little bit, like every non-alcoholic malty beer has that same kind of
the little
finish
malty
on
taste
it.
To it. Yeah.
Yeah, and this one was less than others, like even less than the Zero Red Rage. So that was good. But you get halfway into it and you stop noticing it, or you get 10 days into a dry January and you stop noticing it. So. But those are the ones I get again. The one for the roads were nice because they were the actual tall boys. Everything else seems to come in these 355s. I think they're just trying to use old can stock that they can't sell anymore.
Maybe. Could be.
Actually, so it's funny you bring that up because I was one of the days over the break, I was stopped in at the local co-op, and it was Village. Village had their, because again, most craft breweries have moved to the 473s, and they had this really cheap right beside the 473s. I'm like, it looks like it's the same beer. Why is it different? Until I looked down at the can, it was a 4-pack of 355s. It wasn't even a 6-pack. It was just a 4-pack. And it was just, it was like $10 for the 4-pack or for the 355s. And it was like $13 for the 473s. So I think it's like cost. It's pretty much the same. Like there's literally almost no difference.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Sounds about it. Yeah.
Pretty close, but it's like you just can't even get a 6-pack anymore. Like the 6-pack is dying.
Well, it's because nobody's buying any of the.
They probably don't have the pack text.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it was, but it was interesting because I just stopped there, and I think Kelsey was just like, "Well, what are you looking at?" I'm like, "This is weird." And then I went and bought something else completely different. So
that is weird. The other weird one we had over the weekend, we had Ukrainian Christmas, so everybody's coming over, and I was like, wow, we usually want, so we went and bought an NA wine.
Okay.
That one ended up being a bit of a talking point during the whole never, because everybody had to have a little taste of it and see how it was, and it's basically, I would swear it was unfermented.
It was just like grape juice.
It was just like grape juice, but not like normal grape juice. It was a Cab Sav is what it was supposed to be. And everybody's like, well, that's not a Cab Sav. I was like, it probably was at one point Cab Sav grapes. Because this is what I could see as being like the base stock. So, like, I've made wine, and Steve, you made wine, and you kind of know, like, the raw concentrate or whatever, a little bit what that tastes like, and then after fermentation and after oaks and all that sort of stuff. But it had almost no character to it, because it was like, I don't know if they fermented it and dealcoholized it, but I guarantee it never saw a barrel in its life.
Okay.
So it had no depth to it or anything like that.
So it had none of the things that would kind of help
make it wine. Yeah.
Make it wine, like give it at least a little bit more character or anything like that. So it was just like, literally, we made grape juice, then we took out a whole bunch of sugar, and then we like fermented it and all that, and then we removed all the alcohol, and so it's like the ghost of the grape that's left.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, because it had, like, every wine has its little description of, you should get notes of this and notes of this. So this one was like nose of cherry, fruit forward with a berry finish. And then it's like warm spices and stuff. I was like, I think they just copied that from one of their other wines that actually has that in the barrel. But usually there's like some earth tones in there, or there's some oak or something. But we started chatting about it. I was like, well, why would any vineyard use up barrel space for a non-alcoholic wine, which is going to be like, basically they just need to make something that's shelf stable and put it out there. Yeah, and it's almost too bad, because it's kind of the same thing you had with non-alcoholic beer 10 years ago.
You don't need to use a barrel, though. They could do it with, like, chips.
Yeah, but it's still cubes, it's time. It needs vessel space. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, if when space and vessels are so tight, are you going to really sacrifice it for something that's not alcoholic? It's probably lower on the priority list. So,
which again is kind of unfortunate in that there's a pathway. I'm sure there's a pathway to make it good, but it requires someone to kind of go out on a limb and try to capture a market that may or may not be there, right?
Because, like, non-alcoholic dealcoholized wines have been around for like decades and decades. But I think they were using the boil method before, like bring it up to the 80 degrees and let the alcohol boil off.
Yeah.
So it's not as susceptible to, like, the hop kind of burn or the hop messiness that you can get it with beers.
Yeah, you don't really get that. You don't get, like, there's no bittering agents or anything like that increase over temperature.
But wine is so susceptible to oxygen.
Yeah.
That anything you do after it's, like, matured is going to damage your character, right? And your dad knows this, Steve, and he passed it on to us for the winemaking, is that, like, oxygen is the enemy.
Yeah.
Like, when you're transferring between vessels, it's as quick as possible with as limited contact with the air as possible.
Yeah.
And now that we have fancy equipment, we could actually do it in a closed system. So,
which is great. But yeah, like, it's like anytime oxygen can touch it, it can hurt.
Boil off stuff like you're going to sit it there for an hour in contact with oxygen at elevated temperatures. It just sounds like a way to ruin a wine. So
yeah,
I did try. I was visiting my aunt, and she had a non-alc wine, and it was a dealcoholized one, so which means it was fermented, and then it was 0%, and it tasted quite nicely. Actually, it was a white. I can't remember what grape it was, but
so maybe they are out there, and I just got a crummy bottle.
Yeah,
maybe.
I was thrown off because I went to
a liquor store. Anything else, right? There's always good versions of things and bad versions.
No, for sure. But that's why, like, I had asked at that. I was like, okay, well, hey, what's? And he's like, well, if you like wine, this is a good one. And so that maybe has given me a little bit of prejudice towards it, because maybe he just likes grape. Maybe he just likes fruit forward wines.
It could be.
Yep. Maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. The other thing I've been trying to look for is dealcoholized spirits, just to try them.
I haven't seen any of those.
I've heard of them.
I found a bunch of gins are available, but I haven't found, like, a good spirit.
Yeah, because I remember I was talking with someone last year that they're like, oh yeah, like I think it was actually your sister-in-law there, Brendan. When they were back last year, I was talking to her because she's like, oh yeah, like they were occasionally like, oh, like we like to have a non-alcoholic cocktail, and they'll use a de-alkalized gin, and I'm like, oh, you took my worst, the spirit that I hate the worst, and you took the only good thing out of it. So now it's just bad gin juniper flavor. Great. So I think we had to talk about that, but because I think she said she'd been looking for a bottle when she was back for the couple of weeks just to, be responsible on a couple of occasions, and couldn't find anything here. Though they do exist, like they're around here.
They do exist. So that's basically what I'll be doing this month.
Well, and we were talking about at the top of the hour there. How was everyone's Christmas weight gain?
Oh yeah, pretty funny. I gained like 8 pounds. I've lost some of it already since then. It doesn't take long. Once I went through all those chocolates and candies, it's dropped pretty much. I haven't lost all of it back. Doesn't matter. I've been trying to gain weight anyways. I was sitting at 170 or walking around at 170 before, so now I'm like 175 ish.
Oh, that's good. I was going to say you've defeated your sweets. I still got a box of them on my counter. We haven't been attacking it greatly, but it's still there and tempting all the time. So,
oh no, Steve, I still have them. It's just that I'm not eating them constantly now.
You've gone from 50 to 10 a day.
Yeah. I've gone from lunch, chocolates, dinner, chocolates. So now it's just like go through the day, after dinner, have a piece of cake or a couple chocolates or something like that. But yeah, so I'll probably lose more weight once I'm finally done with all the cakes. The cakes are unfortunate because my folks came to my house for Christmas. They were supplying food, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll bring some desserts. I'll supply some desserts. So I brought 2 cakes, and then my parents also brought 2 cakes. And obviously we didn't eat all of them. So I'm like, you guys are taking some of this, right? They're like, nope, see ya. They left me with 4 cakes. So I'm still going through cake.
Wow. Like 4 cakes.
4 cakes.
Jeez.
I'm down to 1 now. It's taken some time, but yeah.
It's a good thing you have roommates.
Well, I had to freeze them too, right? Because I was like, I can't. I mean, I am a chocolate fiend. Don't get me wrong. I like that stuff, but you can only eat so much. I'm like,
I love it. That's awesome.
So, yeah, 4 cakes.
I was going to say, I definitely gained a little bit of weight because, what was it? It was last week. Because it was last week we were starting to get prepared to do potty training with Simon, and Kelsey just randomly is like, well, how much does he weigh? And I'm like, I have no idea. It's been a couple months since we officially weighed him. So I'm like, Kelsey, do you want to weigh yourself? And she's like, hell no. So I was like, okay, I'll go weigh myself. And I think I was like I was 188 or something like that. So like, I think I gained I think I was about 180 before Christmas. So I gained, like 6-7 pounds easily over the break. And I was like, oh, great. So me and Simon together are like 215 pounds or 220 pounds. So it's like, oh, he's a good healthy weight. Perfect. I feel fat. Fantastic. and especially since, back to January and not drinking so much or anymore, there's not so many parties and stuff. I've definitely felt a couple of those pounds just slough right off, which is nice.
Yeah.
I was up probably 3 or 4 pounds. Not a huge amount, but I was still kind of. I've been sitting a little heavy since my trip to Australia, so not working. Yeah, but doing the dry thing this month, and then they actually started a contest at my day job there, which they call the unfattening.
The unfattening.
Really?
Yeah. So. And the tagline is there's no motivation like shame. So
They're not wrong.
15 guys at work, and they'll like it's weekly weigh-ins, and there's whoever's the least loser kind of thing is shamed somehow. I don't know all the rules, but there's a cash prize at the end, so I'm hoping to win it.
Ooh. Was it like everyone had to throw in $50 or something like that? Or
Exactly, yeah.
I
So,
guess.
like 15 guys, $50. It's a hell of a prize.
Oh. That's like $750.
Yeah. So I think winner takes 70% of it or something like that. So
okay.
And
Well,
then-
that's definitely motivation. That's like a
It
whole
is.
other like vessel, Brendan, for your brewing setup.
it's a celebration lunch at Palomino or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's a 3-month thing, so we'll see how well I do here. But
Well, that means if we go to Jasper, you can't eat the 5 kinds of bacon.
I never eat at that thing anyway.
No, this year we're going to do it. We're going to go there, and we're actually going to participate and get food because it's really good.
You keep telling yourself that.
I know. I know, but on the one night that I'm going to be working, or maybe both nights, who knows what it'll turn out to be, I will eat the fancy food at the Jasper Lodge.
Oh man, yeah, it is kind of funny how like last year's Jasper Festival was my favorite, just because like we screwed up the first day and we ended up out for pizza and stuff. Like we're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
next day we'll do it better. Then we went out for lunch, but like a late lunch, so we got there, we weren't hungry until all the food was put away.
And it was funny too because we dropped in at the Jasper Brewing Co. place just before we got busy there, and it was great, like great food, great beers, all that kind of stuff. And then we drive to the lodge and went, "Fuck, man, we're stupid."
Yeah. Get there and everybody's like plating up because they're eating before the doors open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, hopefully slightly learn our lesson this year. Which, well, I guess we'll just say, like, it's literally 30 days, or no, 28 days until Jasper Beerfest starts, which is February 9th and 10th. So, to anyone who isn't already going out to the show, Jasper Beerfest in the Hills, it's unlimited. It's kind of like you pay for the night, and it's unlimited food and drink. So no tickets, no nothing, anything like that. And it's limited to 40 vendors total. The note last week from Mark here was that there was still one spot available.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're 39 out of 40. So it's still a month left out. But it's our favorite beer fest. Yeah, it's kind of a relaxing weekend beer fest, and yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
It's a no math weekend. That's what's great about it.
Yes, no math weekend. Though the one thing is that they're not doing Iron Brewer this year.
Yeah, that's sad.
Well, they're doing a non-L comp. Well, we should try to come up with something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it promises to be interesting. Interesting show. And I want to go to the Legion when it's busy.
You want to wait in line for that one?
No, I want to get there at the optimal time so it's not super busy, but I can still get in there and like feel the vibes in the band and then get out before it gets too rambunctious because I'm an old man now.
Bringing earplugs to the Legion.
So that
might have to.
That was what? That was Friday night or something?
Yeah, that was Friday night. Because it was local band was playing and it was literally full. Like the back billiards place that we walked by on the way there was completely full. Mm-hmm. Everything else was just like packed in there. They had like all the bench seating and row seating and all that. And it was all full. And then the next night we went in there, it was 5 people. And Brendan, do you remember the name of the guy that came over and talked to us?
No,
Larry or something.
Well, one of our listeners might remember and remind us.
Yeah,
Friday nights are jam nights.
Yeah, Friday nights are jam nights.
It was in the episode too, where the Jasper, like
Yeah,
we talked about it in the podcast.
When it was fresh.
Yeah.
I think,
if I
Larry,
known we were
Larry
going to bring that
sounds
up,
right
I
or
guess I
something
would have
like
looked it up. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
We always do these impromptu, folks. Impromptu. These are unplanned podcasts.
Yeah. The most planning we've ever done for one of these podcasts is like found an article like a couple days before and been like, ooh, we should talk about this. But do we actually send it before we actually talk? No. It's like the 2 minutes before. It's like, hey guys, look at this article.
Yeah.
Let's start recording.
By the way, you're on air. Tell us everything you think about this now.
1, 2, 3, go. Yeah. That's all right. I think it's more interesting this way, anyways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, jam night starts at 9, Steve. So I mean, if you want to go to that, you're gonna have to leave Beerfest a little bit early.
Oh, maybe I work Saturday night and not the Friday night. Like I don't know. Maybe I do tear down and not set up.
Tear down Sunday morning, like
That was a nice thing about that. But,
just leave your shit. It's always awkward though because it's always the big brunch, and so like everyone's doing their brunch stuff, and then like all the beer people come in, and we're like picking up our shit and trying to get out of there, and it's like,
well, I mean, it's awkward for us. A lot of the vendors that go there are part of that brunch as well.
True. That's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's cool. So, well, Happy New Year, everybody. And we're looking forward to a good 2024. Things have been on an uptrend for us for sales, so we're hoping to continue that through 2024, and hopefully that leads to some bigger, better things.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we'll see what 2024 brings.
Yeah. If anyone else wants to tell us their tragic weight gain stories, then Brendan, how would they get a hold of us?
Well, they could go to our website, solutionsbrewing.com, and there's a contact us page where which they can send that to us and put it in an email. Email is noproblems@solutionsbrewing.com. Of course, with the tagline 2023-2024 holiday weight gain. Or if they just want to send us a message about absolutely anything else, they can use that same thing and put an appropriate subject line in. They can also reach out to us on the socials, Facebook and Instagram @solutionsbrewingco.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
And tune in for the next 3 weeks while I try to find a number of various non-alcoholic stuff by forcing myself into this dry January.
Yeah.
Or if you have, actually, you know what? Contact us too if you've got some suggestions. If you know some good ones.
If you know any non-alcoholic versions of rye, please send us an email.
Also, don't send us Partake. We've already had
Actually,
Partake.
that could be a good episode of just like an episode of just sampling different non-alcoholic spirits if we can find some. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thanks everyone. Talk to you
Talk
next
to
time.
you
Goodbye, all.